Welcome back, everybody, to LiveStream on the Moonshine number 294. We started this horror visual novel off last night. Went a little over 2 hours, I think two and a quarter hours, 2 hours, 15 minutes, something like that. Don't think we got to the end of chapter 1, which I thought we would be there by the 2 hour mark. So anyway, guys, we left out at a pretty good spot, I think. She went to sleep, or our main character went to sleep, and had quite the first day by going to the mansion she's trying to sell so she can get that hefty bonus at work. She came across she was trying to meet her friend Rose there. This is Isabella we're talking about, that we played as. And she went to meet her longtime friend and I think fellow associate as a realtor at the mansion that they were trying to sell. Supposedly the mansion was haunted, and she was supposed to meet her good friend, like I said, Rose there. The door was ajar when she took a taxi to be dropped off there at the mansion. Couldn't find Rose when she went in. Ended up supposedly calling her and getting a garbled message that sounded like Rose, but it said attic. It was all broken up. So she went up to the attic and found a horrifying, like, zombie beast. It was pretty spooky images. And then she was so scared, she was able to get away from it, but she fell on her back and knocked herself out, I guess. And Rose and another lady found her and kind of questioned her, and then, yeah, it was a mess. She also found a note up in the attic that said, "Help me," in blood a whole bunch of times, and showed this to 5 people or else. So that's pretty much where we're at. She ended up going home as they were trying to sell the mansion or showing it off to potential buyers. And Rose told her she probably needed to go home because she was kind of freaking out about the incident and stuff like that. So anyway, guys, that's where we left off. It's a real quick rundown of the 2+ hours I read last night. But we're going to go ahead and continue from where we left off yesterday. So let's go ahead and load. And load in Isabella. And Isabella says, "My eyes snap open. And for an instant, it doesn't immediately register where I am. Both my back and shoulders ache after I've fallen asleep, all hunched up the night before. Drenched in sweat, the nest of pillows I often keep around me feels more suffocating than comforting. I let my eyes adjust to the bright morning light streaming through my window and allow my breathing to slow down before untangling myself from the pile. I haven't had a single dream since coming to the Luxboard, or at least none that I can recall having. It's a shame because my dreams used to be so vivid. Not the crazy vivid, but the pleasant kind I'll tell my siblings about. Maybe it's just the stress of living alone. The knowledge that I'll always wake up in an empty apartment with no one to tell stories to.
What time is it?
Ugh, what time is it? Habit forces me to look over at the clock, even with the soreness weighing heavily on my shoulders and the compulsion to never leave my bed for the day. Okay? And in a heartbeat, I'm up.
Oh man, of all the times to oversleep. Towel? Where's my towel?
Admittedly, it's the weekend. As an unspoken rule, that entitles me to extra hours of sleep. Alright guys, so I did turn down some of this stuff. Let me go back into the sound. Let me go ahead and turn this up just a tad, because I did turn down all the character volumes. One thing I did as well, guys, is I did turn off the QuickTime events, just because I want to focus more on the story and not mashing my keys on the keyboard. Well, that was cool last night, but I don't really want to have to focus on filling QuickTime events and dying and having to start over again. I want to kind of focus on the story. I want this to be really casual. So, it is a weekend, and as an unspoken rule, this entitles me to extra hours of sleep. But if Rose didn't kill me yesterday, she sure as hell will now. And right after what happened. Oh Lord. One box of donuts as a peace offering won't be enough the second time around. Grabbing my towel, I'm already a few short steps away from the bathroom when a muffled ringing breaks out of my bag. There's a moment of indecision at first, my mind conflicted whether I should just ignore or answer it. But what if it's Rose? Or worse, our boss? And sheesh, in the end, the rational part of my brain wins out. The letter from yesterday peeks out when I pull the device out. Oh boy. And just the sight of it is enough to put me in a foul mood, and it takes every force of will for me to ignore it in favor of answering the call. Mama! The reader ID reads Mama.
Huh?
It's around 4:45 p.m. in the Philippines right now.
An unusual time for them to call.
Okay. Usually it's around noontime here, and I'm the one calling, not the other way around. Better for them to use that money on something else than an international call. Regardless, it's the most cheerful tone, in the most cheerful tone I can gather.
Hello?
Hello? Grace? How are you?
Mama! I'm doing okay. How are you guys over there?
We're good. EJ won a storytelling contest at school the other week. Brought home a medal. I thought you should know.
There's a tired, lilt in her voice as she speaks. It's been there since Papa had to leave his job. I wish there's something I can do for her. But from many miles away like this, the least I'm able to do is not make her worry. If only my older brother would actually lend her a hand, but Lord knows if that'll ever happen. Odds are, Koya Jordan's already out drinking right now. Again. I can't count on my older sister either, knowing she has a family of her own, and, well, Ann's financial situation isn't exactly great right now, having ran herself knee-deep in debt.
Great! That's great! Tell him congratulations from me. And let him know I'm gonna send him a little something extra this Christmas. How about Nico? Karen? Michael? I hope they're okay?
They're doing well. They wanted to talk to you, but they're all busy with school.
Oh no, that's fine. I don't want to bother them. Just tell them to keep doing their best for me. I'll just call back when I know they're not busy. And Papa? How's Papa doing?
Now that's a subject I'm a bit hesitant to broach. From the way Mama's voice hitches, he doesn't want to bring it up either.
Papa... Grace, he's having a little difficulty right now. Weak appetite, he's having trouble swallowing, and lost a few pounds. But the doctor said we should keep encouraging him. It just means his body's accepting his new treatment well. The money you sent last time helped a lot to pay for it, by the way.
Oh, I see. That's good.
I won't deny that life has gotten tougher for our family. It used to be easy back when Papa was in good shape. But ever since he was diagnosed with sickness 5 years ago, he had been unable to provide for us. Now the burden of feeding 8 mouths and settling Papa's bills all rest on my shoulders. Although Mama makes a little accepting sewing and laundry jobs in our neighborhood, it's scarcely enough to cover the costs of day-to-day living, let alone the bloating hospital bills. We can't even expect help from our own government because the health insurance there barely covers anything.
I'm sure he'll get better soon.
Damn.
Is he well enough to talk? Do you think I'll be able to speak to him, Ma?
Silence. I start to think about the call. I start to think that the call got cut until...
Listen, Grace. Maybe it's better if we transfer Papa to a different hospital. Somewhere cheaper?
What? Why? Did something happen? Is it the deposit issue again? Give me the hospital's number. I'll talk to them.
No, it's nothing bad. The service here is good. Too good. Even the doctors. But I'm worried you're working yourself to the ground because of it.
Mama, we've been through this before. I want the best for Papa. And don't worry about the bills or the medicine, or me for that matter. I can handle myself. Everything's going well here. In fact, we're about to close a large sale.
Aw, it's sad, man. If not, then I'll find another way. She doesn't need to know that. Sorry, Mama, you taught me not to lie. Yet look at what I'm doing.
I'll have money to send over soon to cover the rest of Papa's treatment. And there's more than enough for Karen, Nico, Michael, and EJ's school tuition, too.
Thank you so much, dear. I appreciate it. We all do. But I just wish you'd come home to us soon.
Gillian I don't know what that says. When are you coming home? EJ, the youngest, used to be the only person asking me that. How do you respond to a question you don't have a definite answer to? 5 years later, and I still can't give them a straight one. I smile, though Mama can't see it. I fight to keep my lips from quivering, my voice from shaking. She's got enough on her plate as it is. No need to weigh her down with unnecessary concerns.
Promise me you'll be there to welcome me when I do, okay?
Of course. I'm sorry, Grace. I need to take this for a while.
And there's a small commotion on the other end. The sound of gates opening, the voice of a child, EJ, talking excitedly about his day at school, the tapping of feet on the floorboards as he runs. It's been years since I went home, but I can still picture the whole scene in my mind. How tall is he now? Are the neighborhood kids bullying him now that I'm not around? Did Mama rearrange the furniture in the living room again? But what are they having for dinner tonight? I miss them. I miss them so much.
It's okay, Ma. I need to go too. I've got work today. I'll call again soon, alright?
On a Saturday? Oh, never mind. Take care of yourself, dear. I love you.
I love you. Bye.
It ends with a soft click, leaving half-truths and empty promises hanging in the air. Damn. Closing my eyes for just a moment, I take a deep breath and shake away the thoughts beginning to swim inside my head. It's pointless to mull over these things right now.
Okay, Isabella. Time to get that mansion sold.
Unfortunately, before I can take a single step away from my phone, it rings again. No doubt Mama forgot to tell me something.
Mama? Did you forget anything?
Rose.
Excuse you? I'm too young to be your mum. Are you still sleeping? Hold on, never mind that. Get yourself in the office, hurry!
Office? What about the open house? Oh no. Is it Sir John? Did he hear about yesterday? Am I in trouble? Oh god, oh god, oh god! I'm gonna get yelled at, aren't I? What do? I'll buy you an extra box of donuts if...
No, it's nothing like that. Will you calm down? Get yourself here, alright? I'll tell you everything then.
Wow. And there's a telltale gain of several feet shuffling against the wooden flooring, and an indistinct yelling in the background before Rose cuts the connection. That isn't in any way comforting, but it's enough reason for me to hastily discard my phone and finish my shower in record time. I make it to our office within 20 minutes of leaving my apartment, completely disheveled and out of breath. A feat if I take into account my usual travel time. Routine clamor commotion to Briar Realty Corporation's Luxborn office greets me as soon as my foot crosses into the threshold. Papers rustling, telephones ringing at sporadic intervals, agents talking at varying volumes, staff moving about,
Where
and...
the hell is C? Where are my employees?
Uh-oh.
What the actual fuck, guys? Of all the times to disappear without notice.
Uh-oh. Boss is mad. My boss's words turn muffled as someone else closes the door to his office, likely the work of our HR manager. Throughout the past weeks, he's been in a bad mood over a few employees who have failed to report to work. I hear they're still trying to get a hold of them, but to no avail. The result is half their workload has been shifted to all the available staff, so as to not to lose clients. Not that I mind the extra work. If anything, it means I'll have more money to spend or to send my family back home. Although the rumors of a branch closure circulating because of this is indeed a bit worrisome. My bag barely touches the top of my table when Rose pulls me aside.
Here, I need you to help me with these papers. If you could also get these signed and photocopied before lunch today, that would be great.
One after another, she thrusts a bunch of paperwork in my hands without any explanation. A page flutters away from the top of the pile, and I lean down to pick it up, my eyes scanning the top of the page as I straighten up. A purchase and a sale agreement. Rose simply gestures her thumb in the direction of our visitor lounge, when I tilt my head in question. There, seated on the sofa and looking completely out of place as the humbly decorated room, is the same couple from the day before. The Wrights. Something bubbles up in my throat. Their presence in the office can only mean one thing.
They're buying it? We got a deal?
Oh. She swats at my hand, tugging her sleeve, although her eyes are all alight with something akin to joy. She wants the sale to happen as much as I do, and now that it's here, the deal needs to be closed, yet documents need to be signed still. But the elation is there, along with a foreboding feeling that I can't quite pinpoint.
I had to do a little damage control, but they're already interested in acquiring the property, even before they attended the open house.
Oh.
I mean, isn't it obvious? They already hired an interior designer. I've never seen a buyer as aggressive as Madam Wright. She didn't even try to negotiate a lower rate.
Wow.
One at a time, Rose. I can't process everything you're saying at once. What do you mean?
They're paying 15% higher than the listing price, as long as we get the paperwork done as soon as possible. I think if we allow it, they'll be paying up front, too.
Dang.
Even with that urban legend?
Rose nods.
Oh, I was so sure we lost the sale after yesterday.
Don't look so surprised. We still have to conduct some last few checks before we completely hand it over to them.
Please. I'll happily do the paperwork duty, Rose. I'll even go to the land registry myself and make sure the property changes hands with every single legal blessing.
Don't they have better things to spend money on? I'd haggle it down to the lowest possible price if I were in their place, especially with the stories attached to the mansion. Not that my opinion matters one bit here. We're just their agents who are going to receive a hefty commission after all. Nothing more. Rose gives me a pat on the shoulder, signaling that she's heading back to them, and an unspoken instruction for me to follow after I'm done. It doesn't take me long to finish what work she left me. In fact, having our boss sign the agreement is the easiest thing, since it has put him in a better mood to the entire office's relief. Ma'am Hannah calls me over the moment she notices my presence at the lounge door. Her lips are twisted into a frown. She doesn't seem particularly happy to see me, and I'm not surprised. Who wouldn't be? I almost created a scene. Mr. Wright, however...
Why, if it isn't the little Lily. I trust you're feeling well now.
It's Isabella, sir, not Lily. I appreciate your concern. I'm feeling better now.
Woohoo. I really don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name. It shouldn't be too hard to remember. Regardless, I hand them their copy of the agreement.
I believe I can take that. Thank you very much.
With how elegantly she plucks the papers out of my hands, it's easy to think that there isn't any trace of irritation in her. But it is there, radiating in her stiff stance, the way she's standing a fair distance from her husband, and how the two look to be ignoring each other. Seeing the scene, it soon becomes clear to me that I'm not the one who has put her in a bad mood. Did they get into a fight? Probably. I've seen it happen dozens of times with previous clients. It's a shame, especially with their new mansion. I never did like it when my own mama and papa fought, I hope they'll make up soon. Apparently satisfied with what she's seen, Ma'am Hannah claps her hands together before extending it to us for a shake. Rose and I release the breath we've been holding, both of us more than happy to return the gesture.
That settles it then? Are you really sure about this property, ma'am?
Why would I say
We can
that?
easily find you a bigger one among our current listings. Something with a modern touch?
Something not haunted, perhaps? Rose shoots me a warning glance that clearly says, "Don't make a scene, we're almost there."
Of course, why wouldn't I be? The house is absolutely perfect, isn't it, darling?
A helipad would still be a nice addition.
Helipad.
Yes, well, we'll get there eventually, love. As I was saying, if your partner had the documents yesterday, we would have bought it right there immediately.
Dang.
Shame she didn't have it.
Well, there's still a few necessary documents we need you to sign after, but we'll let you know once we have those finalized. We'll be handling the process for the rest, so don't worry about it, ma'am.
Within a week, I hope. We still have a housewarming party to plan, after all. You know how much thought should be put into those things.
There are servants for that, darling.
Love, servants or not, you're going to make people listen to your input nonetheless. No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course. You can leave it to us. Excellent. Well then, I'll leave you two to it. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, and before we forget...
She discreetly folds something into both our hands and winks a finger raised to her lips, demanding our silence.
What happened the day before was quite unfortunate. But you did get us what we wanted in the end.
Oh,
That,
wow.
at the very least, is commendable.
But this is... Ma'am, I can't accept this.
Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us. Consider this your bonus for a job well done.
Wow. She smiles sweetly like this is simply the most normal thing to do in the whole world.
Oh, before I forget, my lovely interior designer would appreciate it if you hand her a copy of the floor plan as soon as possible. She's dying to work on the house. You can do that, yes?
Certainly, ma'am. We'll have it processed as soon as possible.
I knew I could count on you, lovelies. I hope to see you two soon so we can get this closed.
And just like that, the transaction is over and done with. My mind's still reeling, even though they've left. Other agents would kill to have clients like them. A part of me feels lucky about the fact, but no lengthy negotiations, no sudden change of minds, less talk, or just talk, signatures, a few handshakes here and there, and we're all done. And the other part? A second ago, we sold a haunted property to 2 innocent clients. Sure, the commission is big. Big enough to continue funding Papa's treatment and hospitalization. Big enough to pay for all 4 of my younger siblings' schooling. Heck, it'll keep me away from instant noodle diet for months. I don't have to go back to the mansion. And as well, once the deal has been closed, much to my sanity's relief. But knowing that something's in there, and we gave it to the good couple despite that? Oh, Isabella, the things you do to sell a house and get money. Papa wouldn't be happy with that. At least I have good news to tell Mama next time I call home. The little lie I told Mama this morning isn't a lie anymore.
Well, there's something. So how does it feel?
How does what feel?
Your first big multi-million-pound sale, silly. I know you've been with us for years, but this has got to be memorable for you.
Memorable is an understatement, Rose.
Come on, show some enthusiasm. They gave us... What are you going to do with it?
They gave us a lot of money. What are you going to do with it?
I don't know. Send it home, probably?
All of it?
Not everything, of course. Most of it. I'll leave some for my living expenses.
Listen here, Isabella. I'll teach you something I should have told you before we ended your training.
She swings an arm over my shoulders and leans in closer to my ear, as though she's about to share a huge secret.
It's okay to celebrate from time to time.
I don't get it.
It's simple. Go out, do something for yourself. Throw a party and treat your friends to free food. Didn't you say the last one's some sort of tradition back at home for you? Hello, this is practically a done deal.
Isn't throwing a party a bit excessive?
Your call. I won't say no to an invitation, by the way, in case you really are planning to throw one. A few drinks would be nice too, thank you very much.
I don't think my apartment's big enough for that.
You could always move? Bloody hell, you're working in real estate.
Huh.
I think I'll pass. That's too much of an unnecessary expense for me. But I did promise Becca free lunch in case the sale goes well.
You go do that. Hold on a sec.
Oh boy. She quickly removed herself from me to answer the phone on her desk. Her tone shifts from playful to professional in the span of just a few seconds.
Today? Not a problem, ma'am. I could bring you a copy of the contract if...
Must be another client. And nothing surprising there. She's one of BRC's top agents, no matter how modest she appears. A saleswoman through and through. I, on the other hand, have very little knack for it. Of course, I learned eventually I had to. But someone else will, without a doubt, do a better job. Once, though, in a drunken stupor, Rose told me a story of what could have been. Years ago, wide-eyed, young, and brimming with yet-to-be-fulfilled dreams and ambitions, she was a term or two away from a nursing degree. And out of courtesy, I never pressed on the matter any further. But perhaps it's where the sense of fondness started. A small connection due to one similar experience in our respective lives, of goals we both let pass us by because of the circumstances that we're in.
I'd be happy to discuss this over tea, ma'am. All right, I'll be there. Thank you.
New client?
Reassigned. Have you heard from Mark at all?
Not since the first visit to the mansion. Why? No news from the HR yet?
None at all. Boss thinks he ran away.
Oh boy.
I doubt it, though. He's too much of a wimp for that. There must be another reason. Anyway, I've got to meet this one. I'll see you later.
She throws a wave over her shoulder as she rushes out of the office. The lunchtime bell sounds shortly after, followed by the chatter of fellow agents also heading out for a much-needed break. Ordinarily, there's no need for me to go out, but oversleeping didn't allow me the luxury of packing my own lunch today, if one considers an instant noodle soup cup for my pantry packing your lunch. Time to make good on the promise I made to Becca, I suppose. Maybe invite Zach and Ash too? In the end, only Becca and Zach could come. Ash, on the other hand, couldn't be reached. All my calls went straight to his voicemail. He's at it again, right here today, gone the next day. Ah well, his loss. We have agreed to meet at a nearby cafe, the same one I frequent with Becca because it's cheap, and they give away free bread around closing time. Quaint, a little old-fashioned, though looks a wee bit out of place amidst all the city's tall buildings, but we love it all the same. Much like this facade, the interior carries an antiquated charm to it. The vintage art pieces and a row of shelves boasting an extensive collection of books cover the walls. It would have been nice to hang over here for hours on end, but even on a weekend, the place is still packed with people. Thankfully, Becca and Zach have already found seats and are engaged in some casual chatter when we arrive. It's strange seeing the two of them without Ash accompanying the other. They've never been particularly close. Sure, they talk when they meet, laugh at the same things when there's something funny, but there's distance. The kind born purely out of differing interests. That or Zach's simply afraid of Becca. It's not impossible, and I won't blame him if he is. He might be the tallest in our group, but everyone knows that it means nothing against Becca's temper. Even if I am a little scared of her myself.
Zach! Becca!
Well, You seem to be in a better mood today. What happened? I know that smile, Belle. Come on, still.
Don't rush me. Let's order food first, okay?
A waitress comes by to take our order. A normal day, me and Becca will order a heavy serving of their special vegetarian sobies. Zach takes anything with a good helping of meat, sausage, and potatoes in it. But today's a good day. It's a great day, even. It's not wrong to indulge just a little bit, right?
Today's special. For the three of us.
Even the person jotting down our order looks surprised at today's meal choice. She writes it nevertheless and leaves without a comment. Becca furrows her eyebrows, her mouth halfway open, ready to let loose what's likely a string of reprimands.
Don't worry. It's my treat.
Oh wow. The glare she sends my way reminds me of the one I received from Mama when I punched a kid bullying my younger brother 18 years ago now. Naturally, I never did it again, and she made me apologize the very next day. But Becca's far from being my mom. A small, sheepish grin is enough to turn that frown into a defeated sigh. Food arrives in the middle of a funny story from Zach, putting the rest of the conversation on hold as we are each served our order. It isn't anything fancy. Hand-roasted sea bass with citrus-dressed asparagus and a portion of mashed potatoes on the side. Or at least that's what the daily special board says. I never did pay any attention to it when I came here, since the price is whatever is written way above what I'm willing to spend on food on a single day.
Oh, good. I'm so hungry, I think I'm dying.
You're always hungry.
Hey, not all the time.
Let me guess. You skipped breakfast again.
Not on purpose. I may have overslept.
Right then.
May have overslept for 2
Stop
seconds.
stalling, Isabella. What's this about?
Let us say it, Rebecca. She wouldn't be inviting us out if it wasn't worth hearing out.
Right.
Well, we're waiting.
I'm treating you guys to a once-in-a-century thing.
An expecting grin breaks out of my face, except...
I'm sorry, say that again.
And this is important because...
Becca only raises an eyebrow at me, while Zach appears like he didn't get the punchline to another lame joke Ash made, and is desperately searching for someone to explain it. Oh bummer, maybe I should rephrase it? My instant noodle days are over? Ash is not here, so we should celebrate. No, we'll be honest and tell her.
Okay, let me do that again. Guess what, guys? I'm paying! I sold the house!
As the news sinks in, their expression goes from sheer bewilderment to utter surprise. That's more like it.
You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. As of today, I, Maria Isabella Grace Cruz Santos, am free from my instant noodle binge.
Oh wow.
Seriously?
That's cool.
Hold it, Belle. You sold the house?
Yep.
Which house is this? In Aslam Village? The one with the open house yesterday?
The one and only. Come on, Becca. I know you've got a better memory than that.
Oh, wow. That's...
She lets out a hum. Although she's nodding, she gives the impression of someone who has heard something unbelievable and is still forcing her brain to completely absorb it. Did she think we wouldn't be able to sell that mansion? Have some faith in me, Becca. I'm not your best friend. Am I not your best friend, or what?
You don't believe me?
The words tumble out of my mouth before I can stop them. I've been trying to avoid bringing up yesterday's little spat, and judging from the looks on their faces, it seems they are too. Me and my stupid mouth.
I'm sure it ain't the way you're thinking, Bella.
No, I do believe you. But don't you think the sale happened a bit too fast? The open house only started yesterday, and now you already have a buyer?
It
Yeah.
happens from time to time.
That does sound a little bit suspect. I kind of agree with her friend here.
Yeah, but... Look, I'm happy for you. Just yesterday, you've been really... What if the
Oops,
sale
sorry,
doesn't push
guys,
through,
I keep
or
accidentally
I
hitting
don't
the button.
know, they're a fraud, or they suddenly back out?
Okay, so she said, look, I'm happy for you. Just yesterday, you've been really worried where to get your money for your dad's new treatment. And now all of a sudden you have something. What if the sale doesn't push through? Or I don't know, what if they're a fraud or they suddenly back out? I mean, that's a good reason for concern.
Isn't it a little too early to celebrate?
Yeah, I think so.
Rebecca does have a point, Bella. If you haven't closed the deal yet, there's still a chance they'll go back on it.
Don't count your eggs before they hatch. We've heard that a lot, haven't we, guys? Don't close your eggs before they hatch.
They don't seem like it to me. The lady appeared to really want it, and she approached me without even finishing the tour.
Pressured me into it, more like. But I'm not going to tell Becca about that. Knowing her, she'd only worry more.
And she already hired someone to handle the house's interior design.
You're joking. Who would do that?
The Wrights, apparently.
Huh.
It's actually pretty funny. She's a bit too excited to get the property, she forgot to buy it. At any rate, they've already signed the agreement today, so it's just a matter of time. And don't tell anyone about this, but Ma'am Hannah also gave us something extra.
Something as in...
As in, it's why I can treat you two to a free meal.
I'm most surprised you accepted it.
She didn't really give us a choice in the matter. So if Rose didn't stop them, they'd likely have paid up front for it yesterday. That's despite the legends, too. I even tried to show them the letter. But nope. I want this house, darling. Go take all our money.
You don't really think they believe that, do you? I'm pretty sure for them, those are just rumors as well. No one is that superstitious in this day and age, Belle. Well, there's you.
Right. You know what? I'll just eat all of these by myself.
I began to gather their plate to my side, the food in each still untouched. A laugh almost escapes my mouth with the way Zach's expression quickly changes to disappointment. Becca's hand interrupts me just as I'm about to pull her plate closer to me.
I'm kidding. Don't go all pouty on me again. I'm just concerned you'll get hurt if this doesn't happen. I know how badly you want to close this deal for your papa.
I'm sure he's gonna be fine now, though, with the money. They don't know yet. I think I'll call them tomorrow. Let them know things will be easier. Mama said this morning he's showing progress with the new treatment, too. It's just a matter of time.
I allow myself to smile, genuine and uninhibited. It's strange talking about this with other people, even those who have known you long enough. But today, things simply feel a whole lot lighter with them here. Lunch passes in an enjoyable fashion. A laugh here, a playful jab there, but most of it is spent on catching up when telling stories about whatever's keeping us busy these days. Something we couldn't afford to do the day before, taking into account everything that happened. Even Becca is surprisingly chatty. Is there something in the sea bass we ate? Zach, though, appears less energetic. While he's far from being the life of the party, he's definitely not the type to keep quiet in a conversation with his friends. Apart from a few inputs, he's been very silent the entire time. If Becca notices...
Are you sure you're not feeling under the weather, Zachary?
Huh? No, I'm okay. No worries, Rebecca.
Doesn't sound okay to me.
It's okay. I might be feeling a little bummed out today, but I'm sure this will pass.
Is it about the reviews this morning?
A pained expression crosses Zach's face, and almost immediately Becca retreats in her inquiry as though the man's look is enough of an answer for her. I look between the two of them. Did I miss something? What happened this morning? Did I stumble on some big secret? This is why I don't like waking up so late.
You heard about those, huh?
Sorry, I just happened to check on some sites this morning.
Nah, it's a very sensitive topic in the first place. I should have expected it.
What reviews?
Becca glances at Zach, her emotions unsure, eyes asking for his consent on the matter. Although there's a small desire to keep asking on my part, I don't dare voice it out. With Zach, it has always been better to wait and let him speak on his own. Becca too, to some extent, although with her, explosions of temper are much more common. In the end, he simply answers with a shift of his shoulders, gesturing for her to go on with a tilt of his head.
It's his movie.
That doesn't explain anything. Stop dangling the information, Becca.
Zachary, I'm not the one supposed to be telling her about this. It's still your documentary.
Is it something bad?
Not bad per se. You guys don't need to dwell on it much.
Yeah.
Ned! Listen here! I wouldn't trivialize what those bowheads wrote if I were you. They're ruining other people's jobs.
From how her tone rises in anger, it seems like she's the one slighted and not Zach. A sticker escapes me, which I probably stamp down as soon as she sends me a hard look.
This isn't a laughing matter, Isabella. Some bowbag just insulted him.
Calm down, Rebecca. Those are just reviews, and it happens a lot.
Yeah?
I do not ken about you two, but calling the entire film an out-and-out dribble, you're better off watching an educational kids' TV show, and worst 1.5 hour of my life, among other things, isn't exactly a critique any decent movie reviewer would say.
Damn.
If you could call that a critique, did we even watch the same film?
Well, maybe I ain't cut out for it.
Damn.
Stick with my photography or something.
That's kind of
If
sucky.
nothing else, this helped me open my eyes to what I can and can't do.
That's kind of hard.
You're giving up.
Can't give up, man. It wasn't a question.
It was just something experimental I did on my free time anyway. It's no big deal.
Damn.
But you worked on it for months.
Doesn't look like it matters for those people.
Don't say that!
My palm strikes the table, sending the tableware on top clinking against each other. I didn't even notice when I rose from my seat. But here I am, chest heaving, looking down at him in the same manner a teacher would at an unruly student. Becca's probably proud. I didn't mean to yell, but there are some things people like Zach aren't supposed to say. How exasperating. He, of all people, should know this.
It's just a review.
Except they're pretty well-known critics.
Uh-oh.
Why does that matter? They aren't the ones calling the shots on this. Isn't that why they have a committee? Right, Becca?
An amused gleam is in her eyes when I turn to her. What does she find so entertaining here? Help me here, your friend's about to quit his passion for a petty reason. I haven't read what those people wrote about his work, but a few scathing words shouldn't be enough to discourage someone. I should know. After all, I'm...
Failing means you're playing, Zach. Not that I'm saying it's bad. I've seen it from start to finish, and I know for myself what you created isn't something people should scoff at. I don't know anything about filming or photography. Hell, I don't have an inkling of artistry in me except for those doodles I make for class. But I know what I watched. Look at Isabella. It's not every day you see her all riled up like this.
True. Whatever I'm about to say gets lost in my tongue as a flush of embarrassment blooms across my face.
It was a heat of the moment thing. And anyway, I'll be very angry with you if you quit. What about the exhibit?
What exhibit?
Classified information.
Even if I bring you your favorite tonight?
Nope, not a chance.
Oh, come on! I thought we aren't supposed to have secrets.
A burst of laughter comes from Zach.
Thanks, you two. I might need some time alone to myself for a while. Just to think about things, how I'll go from here, that sort of stuff. Hey, I'm not quitting, Bella. Don't give me that face.
There's no face at all, only a poor imitation of a puppy dog eyes, if you could call this one.
You promise?
I'll be damned if I break any promise I make to you guys. Besides, you're right. It's too early to say anything right now. Awards night ain't for another week.
And that's all the answer I needed from him. As sentimental as it sounds, there's fulfillment in knowing another person you know won't take the same path that you've walked down. It's not like it's over for me, though. I still have time. I can still come back. I can do my own thing. Do what I really want to do. Surely once Papa recovers, once I'm done with everything. Inside my bag, my phone buzzes unexpectedly, breaking the pleasant afternoon lull. The screen shows Rose.
Hey, Isabella. You at the office?
Ha ha. Very funny, Rose. I'm hanging up.
Huh.
Don't, I'm kidding. BRC says the floor plan copies are ready for Miss McCullough to pick up.
She states that as if it already explains everything. Then, out of the blue, she launches on a long rant about the awful state of the Luxborn streets. All of which she says in a single breath that I can barely keep up with and make out a single word. I stayed quiet, as if only to avoid becoming the next object of her frustration. She's similar to Becca in that regard.
I'm stuck in horrendous traffic right now. Bloody stupid drivers.
And when she has finally run out of things to complain about, stops, what she says next still has none of what I'm hoping to hear from her. Just a quick mumbled plea for me to meet the right interior designer in her stead, and
Anyway, I'll leave it to you. Bye. Thanks.
oh boy. Classic Rose, she ends the call without even asking for my input. Alright, still Saturday afternoon. The sky is cloudless and the noontime sun is beating down on the hard concrete when we leave the cafe. It's far from unbearable, but it's enough to put most people in a fickle mood or make them vulnerable to catching something. No wonder we have staff members going AWOL lately, not to mention my boss's mercurial moods. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want our usual cloudy weather back. For all the gripes about the unpredictable weather here, though, the streets of Luxborn remain constantly busy. The hurried tapping of shoes against the pavement and an inane chatter coming from the lunchtime crowd fill the humid afternoon air. A small reminder of the things we still have to do, regardless of how much I want to return to the comfort of my bed. Back to Briar Realty for me, Zach to a meeting with a magazine publisher featuring luxury houses, and Becca to her lesson plans and books back at her home. But more than once I catch her sneaking a longing glance over something displayed on the shop window. Does she want to buy something? Maybe I can't get it for her for Christmas. Maybe I can get it for her for Christmas. I turn my head to the last shop she checked out. A fleeting glimpse. The word steals. He looks at me, eyes hollow, gaze piercing, and boring into my very soul, like a set of chains to keep my whole body still. Yeah, that's creepy as shit. That would be horrifying. There are no shadows or whispers this time. Only a plea. A hum, low and indistinct. Compelling me, beckoning me, intent on dragging me to the void beyond the glass. Oh, that help me shit is back. I don't dare move. My heart hammers against my ribs, each beat, every thump, screaming at me to look away and make a run for it. But I can't. I couldn't. All of my limbs feel heavy now, while my own breathing strains in the face of her calls. Help me.
Leave me alone.
Her mouth is stretched in a grin, wide and unpleasant. The panic building up in my chest forces me to take a tentative step back. I try not to stare at the decaying flesh, the blood streaming from the gaping wounds on her arm and her nailless fingers. I don't want this. Not like this. Not after what I got, what I want for Papa.
No, no, stop. Leave me alone.
God damn, this is creepy. Her face contorts as she lets out a wail, sharp and utterly unforgiving. Rage. There is only hatred and bitterness, as if the very notion of turning away from her is an offense in itself.
Please! I don't want this!
Yikes. Before I know it, I'm stumbling backwards my own throat, hoarse from the screams I didn't even notice already coming out of my mouth. The back of my feet catches on a loose stone, sending me sprawling onto the ground. The resulting pain completely jolts me out of the haze, blurring in my mind. And for a little while, my surroundings appear unfamiliar until Becca's face swims into vision. A look of concern is on her face, and her hands are gripping my arms tight. Even Zach appears beside himself with worry, while he stands behind her, acting as a shield against the small crowd of onlookers already forming around us.
What happened?
Bella, you okay?
My mouth opens and closes, but nothing comes out. The words refuse to form. On impulse, I sneak a quick glance at the display window, and she's gone. Yet the foreboding feeling hasn't left me. My hands are shaking as I push myself off the ground. My weakened limbs are relying solely on reflex and muscle memory. Something icy has made its home to the pit of my very stomach. I want to throw up. Anything to get the wretched sensation out.
You are screaming.
Yep.
Zach, call someone.
No, don't. I'm good. I'm good.
Sure you are.
I need to get to the office. Rose, the floor plans. Someone's going to pick it up. I'll see you later.
Careful. Don't stand up yet. Stay put, Isabella. Zach, you watch over her for me. I'll call for someone.
I attempt a smile to put her at ease, but it likely comes off as just a grimace. Gently, I push her hands off my shoulders. My knees are still trembling, but I can stand. Leave. Leave me. Stay away. Away. The humidity's stifling. Everyone's stares are unnerving, and Becca and Zach's concerns are suffocating. I do not want to be here. No more. I break into a run. And now we're back in my room in the evening. I wish I hadn't left my bed this morning. Here, with only the occasional drips of water on the sink and the whirring of the fan blades to keep me company, it's easy to fall into a cycle of negative thinking. But even with the clutter to keep me company, the room still feels a whole lot bigger than usual. I hug my knees closer as a group that passes by outside. Loud. So loud. If only there was a way to tune everything out to keep my head from replaying every image, every sound of her. Her screams, her awkward gait as she reaches out for me, her bone-chilling smile, and her pleas for... Enough! That's enough! A shiver passes over me, but that's not it from the hair still hanging damp against my back, nor the draft that enters the room from the windows that I've left open. My gaze shifts over the letter sitting on the coffee table now. Its edges flutter incautiously as the wind touches it. Funny how an ordinary-looking piece of paper can bring this much trouble. The impulse to throw it away or to rip it to pieces or stare. I can easily do it, but after, what then? Will she leave me? What about these people who have already seen it? Will they be okay? This uncertainty gnaws at me, knowing that she's real and might also go after the people that I care about. I just wish someone would listen and believe me. The abrupt break in the silence nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Blindly, I fish out my phone from under the mess of papers and cushions where I've carelessly thrown it before taking a shower hours ago. Zach's name flashes brightly on the screen. Is he calling because of this afternoon? Frankly, it's the last thing I want to discuss, but I did leave the two of them there without saying anything at all. Knowing Zach, I bet he's worried about me.
Hey, Zach.
Oh, good. I thought for sure you're not gonna pick up.
Sorry, it took me a while to find my phone.
No worries. You game tomorrow?
I pause. I don't recall making plans with Zach for the weekend.
Did I forget something?
Remember that guy I told you about? Back in the movies? The, priest? For the blessing?
Oh yeah.
Does it ring a bell?
Oh, right. I did say that, but I didn't think he'd actually go through the trouble, especially after what just happened with this film. Sometimes I forget how kind Zach can be.
Yeah, I remember. Is he fine with it?
My friend doesn't mind. We're lucky he's not busy. So, tomorrow, he'll meet us at the mansion.
Okay. Sorry for the trouble, Zach.
Hey, no problem. I'm the one who suggested it to begin with.
Yeah.
And, well, this afternoon you did surprise us. Never seen you scream like that. You scared the hell out of Rebecca.
Yeah.
I guess I owe you a lot for this, huh?
Nah, we're cool. You had us worried. But I know you'll tell us about it eventually.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you're doing well. You left all of a sudden and you're not answering any of our calls.
He's just trying to get me to talk. Normally, I'd tell him I'm fine, say a few simple reassurances to put their minds at ease. But now nothing will form. I can't bring myself to tell him anything. He seems to have sensed my hesitation because he immediately changes the subject.
Yeah, anyway, I gotta go. I left something on the stove before making this call. Just soup. But it'd be embarrassing if I burned soup.
Huh.
I doubt it. Ashton, on the other hand...
That's funny.
Oh, remind me to tell you about what he did with the pressure cooker next time. Oh, damn, it overflowed! Really need to get going. Bye, Bella.
He hangs up before I can thank him. The busy tone, then muffled, echoes through the receiver. No one is saying this will work. Even I am doubtful that it will. But right now, I'll take anything. Anything to get out of this nightmare. And sleep comes easier tonight. And for the first time in a long time, I dream of clear skies, of unrestrained laughter from children playing in the streets, and of small, cramped dwellings. To an outsider, the sight does not paint a pretty picture. However, this is home to me. Alright, with that one, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up one day at a time. Is maybe how we're going to do this, as long as the episode lasts, over 45 minutes or so. Yeah, I don't think I want this to be really long episodes like what I read last night. I think I want to try to keep them to an hour, hour and a half, or 45 minutes even. So this is a perfect stopping point, guys. It's going to be Sunday. And her and Zach got plans in the afternoon for meeting the priest. So I want to go ahead and thank you guys for watching this. Thanks for being here. And be sure you comment down below and let me know if you're enjoying this visual novel called The Letter. So we'll be back soon here, guys, in LiveStream on the Moonshine number 295 with part 3. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.